I'm Coach Ant.
I'm Coach T, and we're fans that know some.
And first and foremost, I want to thank all of you guys who subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Continue to tap in with us, like and subscribe. We appreciate you. Join the family. Let's get it.
Let's get it. AFC North, man, the chaos.
Yes.
It is the chaos division right now, man. We'll start with the Browns.
Well,
obviously, we don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Obviously, we don't have our normal cast here.
Where our guys at?
Yeah. We know where the Bengals fan at. He's in his cave hiding, right? Yeah, he don't want to be seen. He don't want to talk about any of that transpired over the weekend. And of course, our guy, Baltimore Ravens fan, he's actually traveling back from the game. Probably pouty face also. So
it was a big,
they lost, so they got a
sure,
big loss last night. Yeah,
I'm sure Jason is not happy.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll dive into your Browns, man. Did the Browns just save their season? Considering that they were down 10-0, late mid in the game and end up winning 13-10. Give me your take on that.
Well, my take is this: it's the NFL, and no matter how you win, if you win, it's a win, and I'm just saying
if
win.
It's ugly,
a win on your record, and if you can continue to get wins, no matter how you got it, you got to win.
Yeah, stacking up.
Yeah. But to break it down, it doesn't get away from the fact of the issues that we have.
Yeah.
The defense is superb. Defense is playing great.
Lights out, actually.
Yeah.
Y'all got the top defense in the division right now.
Yes,
so kudos there. Even though I don't like it, but I'll give you that point. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But continue.
But statistically, you can't continue to rely on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep. I'm happy that we were on the opposite side of that type of win, because for so many games, the Browns end up on, week one, games that you're like, it's not the best from both sides, but they got the win. And they're sitting there ahead of us off of an ugly win. I would have preferred to have that win and this win, and things would look a little bit different right now.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't get away from the underlining fact of what we look like on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Drop balls, no consistency. There's some silver linings in the run game. I like Junkins and what he's doing. But the whole quarterback situation, Joe is seeming like, he's managing the game. He's making, you can say, the veteran reads and the right reads, but there's too many times he looks extremely slow.
Yeah, Flaccoing. I call it the Flacco, eventually Flacco.
So that's the thing that I worry about still.
So I'm glad you brought that point up, man. So is Joe Flacco quietly becoming the most reliable option, though, for the Browns? I've been seeing some video of your guys getting well, and he's throwing the ball, and could he be making a return? You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You actually favor him a little bit. But go ahead. Give me your answer, man. What do you think about Flacco?
I think Flacco is clearly, at the start of the season, your safe bet. But I would argue it's on the opposite end of that argument, being the most reliable. The most reliable to keep us afloat.
Yeah.
You can say, but at the end of the day, your quarterback needs to make at least a couple plays, 2 to 3 plays where you're like, okay, it's past the script. That quarterback made that play, whether it's rolling out, scrambling for some yards, maybe made an elusive move and then threw a special pass. I think we're missing that. You can see it when he rolls out sometime or when he escaped. We need potentially, that youth to make that play, that youth to roll out. Maybe there's times where, he can escape and get a couple yards in the run, but he knows his limitations, so he may just throw it out of bounds, or he's not going to run, or he's running and he doesn't have the speed to roll out and scramble for 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're missing. We're missing potentially having that young dynamic that can make a special play. And again, that's not saying our quarterbacks that we have are ready to do that.
Yeah.
But we don't know that.
Right.
And that's what we have to see.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
we see what we have in just managing the game, and it's not getting us any points
at all.
Yeah.
So I want to stay on that subject. Do you think that win was a fluke, or do you think that it's just a sign of your team becoming gritty and a resilient team and able to eke out wins like this?
You know what? I don't think unless you get, when you look at games where it was like a lucky this or a lucky that or something that barely happens, like nothing is a fluke. You know what I mean? I mean, even when we saw the past week where you had all these multiple field goal kicks get blocked.
Yeah.
You can say that was a fluke, but no, that was athletes making plays.
In big time situations.
Yeah. It takes athletic ability to do those things.
Yep.
And it just so happened it happened multiple times within 1 week. But I wouldn't call it a fluke. I would say it's a sign that despite what we've talked about, the coaching staff and being upset with Stefanski and not exonerating him for like everything as far as what the fans are upset about, but it does show like they have these guys ready to play. And all you can ask for is having an opportunity to win a game, no matter how. If you keep your team in a situation where they got an opportunity to win, that means, okay, you're doing something well with preparing your team. So I think that's probably the most frustrating part at this juncture as a Browns fan is like the defense is back to playing what we expect them to be, you know, and now you're like, man, all we're missing is just a few dynamic plays on the offensive end.
Yeah, that's good, man. And I have to admit that defense does look scary, man. I'm not looking forward to playing them, but I have to ask you this. Mm-hmm. Do you think they can continue to carry this team regardless of the sputtered offense?
Well, I know some people look at it like, oh, it's the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl. I wouldn't go that far, you know, because they at least had like an identity of, okay, Trent Dilfer and what he was capable of doing. He was a good quarterback, you know, and he was able to like manage.
Great game manager. Exactly. Yeah.
Because we don't have that true identity yet on offense, like we know that's what we're doing. I don't know if it can sustain. I don't want us to just rely on that. I want us to try to find an answer with this quarterback situation. I want to see the young guys play. I want to see Gabriel and I want to see Shador.
Yeah, just to see what they can do.
Yeah.
So that seems like the theme of the AFC North. The defenses want to try and grit out the win and just put the offense in position to make, you know, enough points to win and just rely on the defense. I'm not necessarily a fan of that. So, hey, man, that's a great take. So, the other team in the AFC North, my guys. Mm-hmm. And first, before we dive into the Steelers, man, I want to give a shout out to former Steelers who are facing season-ending injuries. My guy Connor for the Arizona Cardinals broke his ankle, and then we got Najee Harris with the Achilles tear, man. So speedy recovery to you guys. And unlike the Browns, we don't want to see our former players, or we don't celebrate when players are injured.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, speaking of which, you guys are off to, I would say, a winning start. I mean, you can argue whether it's good or not, but again, it's a winning start. You guys are the same argument I said for my team.
Same.
It's the same thing.
Just win, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys winning in spite of Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, as I said all along, man, he's going to show his age in spots. You know, he's not as sharp as he once was, although he's still prolific, right? He's still a prolific passer. I believe that we have the right person for this situation. You can't cry over spilled milk. And winning in spite of him, I mean, you call it what you want, man. Defense got 5 turnovers. We put enough points on the board to get the win this week. Was it pretty? No. Was it ugly? Again, just like you guys win. It's very ugly. It seems like the theme in the AFC North. But I see us, we're getting a little better, right? The offense did not give up a sack this week. The offensive line. So if you can continue to build off of these wins, these minute wins, right? Then we just continue to stack up wins, man. And I wouldn't say in spite. I just think the game went how it was supposed to go. We did enough to win. We got enough turnovers. We stopped. We went up there in Foxborough and got the win, man. And so that's just what it is.
So overall, are you happy with what you're seeing from Rodgers? Do you think he has to go another level or just maintain where he's at?
I think Rodgers just needs to not do as much. I mean, he's up there in age. We don't want to see him trying to make that magic that Aaron Rodgers is known for. Just be a game manager. You said you want to come in and teach the young guys, teach them how to play the right way. Don't go out there and try and be Broadway Joe and win the Super Bowl just yet.
But
let's get the offense churning.
Yeah,
and then let's see some magic. But
what do you think? Because I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, okay, the game management piece. Because honestly, I don't think when I look at what Flacco is doing, to me, it's not fully game management. It's almost like safe playing. I mean, and again, you can say it's game management. And he's a veteran quarterback. He is making the right reads, but we're not going for that explosive play. But you're saying, okay, with Rodgers, we just need you to do exactly that.
Yeah, and the reason why is because defense is not. I'm not comfortable with that defense yet. Right? Okay, we got 5 turnovers this week, but put it in perspective. Drake May was moving the ball up and down the field at will. We just made plays at key times. The interception, before halftime was clutch. Cam Hayward knocks the ball out at the goal line. They score those 2 touchdowns. It's a different game, right?
Gotcha.
So my thing is manage the clock. Let's eat up some clock until our defense starts, becoming that dog defense that we're used to seeing in Pittsburgh, where we can stop guys still on 3rd and long. That's still the issue. I mean, 3rd and long. I mean, guys are you can stop them on 1st down. You can stop them on 2nd down. Don't let it be 3rd and long.
Yeah,
and it's 1st down.
So
you know what I mean?
Think you're on the flip side because your defense has made really good plays. Can your defense continue that despite a sputtering offense?
That remains to be seen. I mean, we can only predict so much, man. The defense, to me, are starting to show signs. T.J. Watt got a couple sacks this week, and that is a very good sign. Maybe he starts to turn that thing around and start showing up in more games. And again, it's hard. It's tough to win in this AFC North, man. And any win you can get, you just grit it out and get better for the next week. And what I want to say is, if the defense can continue to get those turnovers and then we convert those turnovers into tutties or touchdowns, we'll be all right, man. And so far the offense is sputtering just because I think I made this prediction before, is that our offensive weapons aren't what we thought they would be right now, right?
You know what?
So
that brings my next question then.
Yeah.
You just remind me. So do you think, despite the big name acquisitions, do you think Mike Tomlin's playoff window is shrinking?
No, I don't think it's shrinking. I do think we need to make some adjustments and make some adjustments quickly. As far as personnel at times, I do like that Jabril Peppers signing. He's a football player. He's going to make plays. You can plug him in either one of the safety spots. I think as the weeks go, we may see him a little more, until Elliott gets back and healthy. Harmon came in, and like I say, when you got Harmon in, and then you can bring him in spots, you clearly see that T.J. Watt gets some opportunities when you bring Harmon into the game at that 3-tech. So, if we can continue to make the adjustments that we need to, and make smart plays on 3rd and long, man, and get off the field, I can see this team becoming, not dominant, but a team that you can say, hey, they're going to come in. It's going to be a gritty, game, and it's going to be tough to score against this defense eventually. But then on the offensive side, I know we have Darnell Washington, who was a big target. We did target him in the end zone last week, and he got the pass interference call. But I just want to see a little more grittiness on that run game, and not abandon it so fast, right? So when you abandon that run game, you start to get passive, and I think that's been most of the problem also. Yeah.
So do you think though that the offense will ever find its rhythm, or you just chucking it up like, okay, this is the post Roethlisberger, vintage post Roethlisberger era, or
I think they will, man. I see Rodgers, pointing at guys like, telling them where they're supposed to be when they're not there. And I think if he continues to lead like he's supposed to and manage, that's what I mean by manage. Like, tell guys when they're wrong, you can correct some of the mistakes that are being made in the long run. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see how these guys actually will respond to him coaching and managing, not just the game, but the team and the play calling and things like that. Because you'll start to see him change plays once those guys get comfortable. Yeah. He'll start being a general at that point.
But let me ask you this then.
Yep.
Explain from a coaching perspective, because when people hear game manager, there's two type of game managers. Like, it sounds like a negative, which sometimes there's a pro and a con to it, but in some cases, depending on the quarterback and what you're managing, plays a different role. And when you say game manager, so because I think what we're referring to, like when you say game manager for what Rodgers is doing, and what I'm saying game manager, there's two different ways.
Yeah.
So just break down those ways.
Yeah. So you got a game manager, which is passive, where you're just like, just call what we call, the play call that we send in. We're going to run that play call. Don't worry about reading too much into what the defense is giving you. Just run it, and we'll set up the next play, right? And that's just being safe and I want to say untrusting of your quarterback, right?
Being like real cautious,
cautious,
like,
and things like that.
We're giving you
the what I'm talking about is when you're being a game manager, you're not only running the plays that are being called, but you're also telling your players, hey, we ran this play, but we're going to come back with A, B, and C. I'm going to need you to do this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't, like Rodgers was trying to tell Freiermuth before when he's on that scramble, don't keep running that drag route across the field. But if you see me scrambling, come back towards me and stop. I'm going to get you the ball right then and there. So when you're not only managing the play call, you're managing the personnel and making sure that they understand what it is you're trying to do and set up in spite of what's being called. So
that makes sense. And I wanted to bring that point out because I know when people hear that, they may not, it may get confusing, because at the end of the day, there are levels of, okay, you can manage where this is what's on your sheet.
Yep.
And this is what I expect you to do. Yep. And it's because you have so many limitations that we want to keep it safe versus I can manage how I'm going to attack. Yep. I can manage, not to be too risky.
Exactly.
I want to manage who's going to do what.
Yep.
I'm going to let you know when I plan to get a little aggressive. Yep. It's more, of a tactical approach with some game management versus, and not as much of, just making a improvised, explosive on your own type of reads and plays.
Exactly.
And then you have that, again, that safe, hey, you know what? You okay, but we don't trust you.
You just,
And I think that's probably where our they feel about our rookies and our differences too.
So that's why I was saying that I think as long as we allow Rodgers to teach in his management and coach up those players later on, he'll start checking. He'll start, and guys will start. It'll start clicking, and I see that just from how he's how guys are looking at him, responding when he's doing, pointing and showing, the frustration, we're supposed to be doing this. So,
right.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that's going to be the difference between having a Rodgers and maybe a Rudolph,
Gotcha.
so to speak.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay.
So man, let's we got through the Steelers, we got through the Browns. Man, I want to pivot to these Bengals, these Bungles, man. This is possibly the worst loss that we've seen in a long time for these Bengals, man.
And it's unfortunate that, Ryan is not here, because we got a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Ryan. We got a lot of questions.
You were supposed to be here, Ryan. Don't hide too long.
We know you coming back. We
Yeah.
know you had some stuff to take care of, but we got to talk to you, man.
Yeah, we want to hear from you for sure. So with this 48-10 loss, man, this to the Vikings, this is possibly the worst performance in Bengals history, man.
History?
I think history.
History?
Yes, definitely history, man. And I think this is a wake-up call. But give me your take on that, on this loss, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, they had some moments where they were bad. So, in history.
Yeah.
However, I would say the loss, it was bad, and I think it just comes down to when you have a team that you are expecting to be one of those teams to really compete, even though, again, this is their first loss.
Yeah.
But the fact that you don't have Joe, I think it speaks, more volume to the impact of it. Because when you had Joe Burrow and you have a loss like that, with his talent, you expect, okay, we took this L, we'll come back and he can just light you up and turn the game around. You don't have that, and you can sense just from the outside looking in, we don't know, but from the outside looking in, it seemed like some of that swag and some of that concern is there. It's almost like an unknown.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you come off a loss like that, that's going to be the natural look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be, I think how we can judge the Bengals is how they respond this next week. That's going to tell me more than just this one loss.
Yeah, I think I'm disappointed in them not having a run game, and I just want to put my coach's hat on here for a little bit.
Put it on.
I think that the as a coach, I would have told my front office, hey, I don't want to invest however many millions they invested on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Why not? If you're saying Joe Burrow is the guy, why not invest in your defense? Like if you know that you got an offense that's going to score, you're saying that Joe Burrow is the second coming of Montana, right? Why not shore up that defense and say, hey, just like the rest of the AFC North did?
That's true. But wouldn't people say, well, you got to give him weapons? Why you let one of these guys go?
Because if Joe is who you say he is, I saw guys that stepped up while T. Higgins was hurt. Iovas was a young receiver who came in and I think managed that starting role very well. If you remember, he had a couple games in there where he had multiple touchdowns, I believe, or at least one touchdown. So if you're saying that Joe Burrow, and then even if you lose a T. Higgins, you still have some weapons there. You still you have your running back there. You still have Jamar Chase, who's Triple Crown winner, as Ryan would say. Joe Burrow is making plays, throwing a rock like you saying he is. I wouldn't have flinched a little, as long as we still had him in place and you still have the core minus one player. You're telling me one player would have made that big of a difference on offense?
But only thing I would say, being devil's advocate on this, is it fair to say that knowing Burrow got hurt so soon? You know what I mean? Because we can, on the flip side, we can be looking at a situation where Joe Burrow is there, he has his weapons, and they're lighting it up. Yeah. I know against us, we got a good defense.
Yeah,
that didn't
absolutely
happen, but he got hurt early on, and just throwing it out there.
No, but because, I feel you. I don't want to say no. And I'm not showing any grace here because it's been a long time coming. These Bengals have been putting up some numbers on that offense.
Right.
So after a while, you can't sustain that knowing that your defense is going to give up just as many points. And then you got Jake Browning, who stepped in and I'm a firm believer that Jake Browning can step up anywhere. He could be a starter in the league anywhere, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a solid backup that could possibly keep this thing afloat. But you don't. Your defense, you know what I mean. So
fair.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean.
Fair.
That's just my take on it. And I know Ryan's not here to defend himself, but I just think they got it all wrong up there at the Bungles. Is that you poured into all this offense and you didn't do anything with your defense, because now that Burrow is hurt, you don't. It seems like you don't know. You don't have an identity at all. You can't run the ball, so teams are just pinning their ears back and coming to get you. So,
now it's a good take. I mean, since Ryan's not here, maybe point that question to the fans. What do they think? Yeah,
give us your take, fans. How do you feel your front office has done managing your personnel defensively versus offensively? What would you have done? So that's a good question. Yeah. We want to hear from you. I would like for you guys to chime in, and we will respond to those answers that you give us.
You know what? Let me ask another one too.
Yep.
Now that we're on the Bengals, Joe Burrow, are you guys panicking with Joe Burrow being out? Is it panic mode right now? Go ahead and leave your comment, your thoughts in the comment section. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, what's your panic mode? Yeah, I like that.
1 to 10.
Yeah, 1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yeah, and again, we're going to respond because I'm anxious to hear. Yeah, so let's pivot to Baltimore, man. They lost last night,
Yeah.
Again, I made reference to all the weapons that Lamar Jackson has. I'm getting tired of the excuses, man. It seems like in the big games, they just can't manage to get it done. In spite of that loss last night, do you feel like that they're still one of the most balanced teams in the AFC North? Henry, 2 fumbles.
Man, you know what? I would say they definitely have all the tools to be. Again, it's early in the season. We've seen teams start out, red hot and then end, real ice cold. We started this whole AFC North and all of us was chasing, where the Ravens are.
Yep.
And with their performance recently, I mean, you can't. They're coming down some. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, they beat us. You were really expected to beat us. They did turn it on in that second half. That first half, we was right there with them, and you had opportunities against the Bills, contender.
Yep.
Didn't show up. Had opportunities against the Lions.
And boy, those Lions, man, they look for real.
Yeah, and that's a good team. But you're supposed to be like one of the top teams as well.
Yeah.
And you had 2 opportunities to show up, and you didn't show up.
Right.
So I think it's at this point now where, are they the same flaws that our teams have? Are they right there with us? Are you guys right there with us, Jay?
Yeah.
Are you Ravens fans? Are you guys? Right there with us with the, some of the flaws that we have now. Mind you, they have that silver lining where obviously Lamar Jackson is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's still a great running back. But again, you got the fumble situation.
Yeah.
Again, you got the recent performance.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do, but I think it's time to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Come down to
the reality,
that even level where we're at until you show me different.
Killers. Yeah, they're not that. I don't fear them anymore, really. To be honest with you, like at one point I was really scared. Like, oh, what are we gonna do to stop the Ravens, man?
I agree.
What are they gonna do? Who are we gonna bring in to help stop these guys from scoring? But do you start pointing at coaching? Like Tomlin, do you start is Harbaugh not the answer? Is the voice outdated now? Is there a change needed in Baltimore? I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think some of their struggles, I don't think you see bad coaching. They still look like a contending team. They still have the playmakers. They're still in position to win games. It's not as if they are just like undisciplined and I mean, the fumbles and things of that nature. But other teams are making plays against them because other teams are coming up to saying, okay, with the respect of the Ravens, they're playing that game like, okay, this is a test.
Yep.
Maybe in certain aspects of the flow of the game, they're not meeting that challenge. But I think that's where the players have to come in. I don't think you take a coach who has been winning and all of a sudden think because of the flaws that they have, it's all coaching.
It does the same thing to Tomlin. They do the same thing to Tomlin, man.
I mean, yeah.
Because their wins don't translate to January either, right? So
a lot of teams don't.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, you have one of the elite offenses and you haven't even been to you can't even say you contended for the Super Bowl yet.
I agree. I agree. I just don't know if the struggles that team have. I agree with all of that, but I don't know. I'm not on the list of people who think it's a coaching situation on why they have their struggles. I don't think it's coaching there. I think that staff can address the things that they are, challenged with.
Yep.
And we'll see how they respond. Again, it's early. And we will revisit our recap and see where they are, and that will be the teller.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So next question for the fans. It's early, but give us your take on who wins the AFC North and amongst this chaos that's going on right now. So we'd love to hear from you. We're going to respond again to every question that or every answer that you leave. We're going to chime in with you guys and get the conversation going. So, yeah, man, we did it again.
Yeah. Again, we want you guys to be sure to like, subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
We appreciate you. I'm Coach Ant.
I'm Coach T. Peace.
Peace.